This Thanksgiving break has absolutely broken my usual take on streaming and other stuff like that. Look at that sunlight coming through. Ah, sunlight! What am I doing? I'm a night shift guy. Well, what I'm doing is having a little fun when I have an extra day off. So I'm also trying to get up earlier in the day as well. So I might do less streaming in the middle of the night. But that's really what's really pulling me in all directions right now is that when you're a night shift person and everything's quiet at night, it's wonderful for recording YouTube videos or doing streams that are made to become YouTube videos. So it's something you always have to think about and kind of be pulled in all different directions by. I don't know if I want to become more of a day shift person or not. There's opportunities, there probably will be opportunities for me to go back to a day shift schedule, and I would probably get more live viewers if I was streaming during prime time instead of US East prime time instead of in the middle of the night or early in the night if you're on the West Coast. So it's really something. But the thing is, I don't really want to be a big streamer. I want YouTube to be the center of what it is that I do, because I, as a long time, some would say boomer, old timer on YouTube, I understand the value of making regular videos and evergreen stuff that is designed by design to not be time sensitive. So I don't want to throw that away just because streaming is super popular. Because I know streaming is super popular for some not so good reasons, and I'm calling it now, but I've been calling it all along. As streamers wake up to these problems, they're going to have a stream life crisis, as it were. That's my joke name for the coming crisis, where these streamers are like, what the heck have I been doing for the last 5 years? I could have spent my time a lot better making videos instead of streaming all the time. It is kind of interesting, though, that YouTube has actually introduced me to some more YouTube streamers who are doing exactly what I'm doing. So the algorithm, after doing this on YouTube long enough, is kicking in. I think this is fueled by the fact that I look at a lot of my own stuff to see how I did. It's something I've been doing since college radio. There are things you're never going to know you're doing that you need to work on until you listen to yourself after the fact or watch yourself after the fact. But it is kind of cool that, you know, these streams have kind of taken the place of the radio style show, because they basically serve the same purpose. And yet at the same time, I'm being introduced to other creators on YouTube who are doing this and being reminded that, yes, what I'm doing is actually pretty good. You know, it's just that people have to find it. It has to be introduced to people, and then people will like it. Because there's a lot of people streaming on YouTube that have those slow shutter speed webcams that look like webcams. And they have microphones that buzz, and they have audio that's blah, and just the presentation of everything. I mean, you are on a photogenic platform. That counts for something. But what also counts for something is your presentation skills. So you have to want to get better at presentation skills in order to really do anything on these platforms. And even if you don't, you want to get better at presentation skills for if you have to give a presentation at work or something. So it's the sort of thing that you always have to keep in the back of your mind. Once an AV geek, always an AV geek. But it's cool to see the algorithms kicking in and actually introducing me to other creators who are doing small streams on YouTube as an ancillary or secondary side part of their channels. And it's really interesting that YouTube streaming is maturing the way it is here in 2020, because I'm very curious as to how exactly is this link between streams and evergreen videos going to continue on channels. Then again, I can see some success stories on YouTube like Valkyrae, PewDiePie, Markiplier, and various other creators on YouTube who've expanded into live streaming, some of whom I think have expanded too much. Nick Nimmin, for example, does a show that is essentially a stream, and he talks about the multimedia meta from a YouTuber's perspective. I've been meaning to watch more of his stuff, but he has mostly stream replays and not videos. What I'm really looking to see is somebody to counter the Harris Hellers of the world from a YouTuber's perspective. If that niche doesn't have anybody really doing anything with it yet, I'm going to jump in on that. Because the world, you know, it's about time that the folks coming over from Twitch stopped shouting down the folks that are YouTube veterans and stuff. Oh, the plant light turned off. Let's turn it back on. Turn on the plant light. Thank you. That's another thing I have to... That's another thing I have to do, by the way, is I have to make a new purple light for blue into purple. So I've got that. That's what that LED strip that was sitting on the keyboard for the longest time was there for. I also have another smart bulb for my desk lamp that now doesn't have a bulb. So it's something where I don't want the plant light to be on at times when it's not supposed to be on, just to have this blue into purple theme. This thing should be off from 3 to 11. My plants haven't been doing very well, and I think streaming has a lot to do why, as well as the weather. Fortunately, they're perennials, so if they die back to ground level, something will probably sprout back up later on if it isn't already. So I'm an idiot when it comes to house plants, though, so I am learning like anybody else who's new to this. And the least I can do, though, is fix this plant light situation and make a YouTube video in the process. Wacky World of MultimediaJay. What is up, everybody? This is Jay, aka MultimediaJay, talking about stuff for 10 minutes before even starting anything close to the main discussion of the stream. What am I doing? Am I taking a page from the stalling thing that a lot of streamers talk about? Maybe. I don't know. But that's really one of the things. It's one of the things you have to realize when you get into streaming is just what the difference is. Even if you're on a platform like YouTube that lets you do both, the difference between streaming and making videos, you cannot convert your streams into videos for numerous reasons. They just won't be as high quality as making something from scratch. But one of the things you can do with streaming is follow current events or things where it's something you want to chime in on right on the spot, as opposed to making a video about it. Well, videos are better for the long haul. This is something that will come into play a lot more as YouTube streaming becomes more of a thing. But that's not to say that putting in the work won't get you anywhere. Let's link up to Avast Secure and see. I was watching Twit on Twitch earlier. Interesting. They actually rejected affiliate from the looks of their Sully gnome in order to be able to multi-stream. I just want to say before we get into our discussion about Twitch and how they wimped out on the Adblockers thing. Let's link up Avast Secure here. Where is the... We can select it right from this handy-dandy drop-down window. MultimediaJay TV is picking up search engine oomph. Just like Play Some Stuff, just like the Wacky World of MultimediaJay, just like MultimediaJay Radio Style. And check this out. Here's a Twitch VOD in the search results. It's the mobile version of the site for some reason. Maybe because I'm using Google, and Google is, on Android phones and stuff. But finally, we're seeing a Twitch VOD show up in search results close to the top. But notice how it's in the web results. The video results are all still YouTube videos. So, again, the differences between YouTube and Twitch. So, saga continues, MultimediaJay TV. I want to do an experiment and see but I have to find out if these vertical bar names, like putting the name of the series in with a vertical bar to help SEO, if that's against policy on the YouTube side of things. Because YouTube has a policy against tag stuffing, so don't put tags in the description, put them in the tag section. But I just want to know if there's some kind of spammy attitude towards this kind of stuff. So MultimediaJay TV actually getting some search results. That's nice. Here's MultimediaJay Radio Style, and has the same issue here. But is there Twitch stuff anytime soon? There's twitch.tv/MultimediaJay because there's something that was in the version of it when it was crawled. So, okay, let's take a look at this ad thing. So Twitch, and shout-outs to Zach Bussey for finding this. He actually posted it on Twitter earlier. Oh, look, now Twitch is trying to do PR here. You wake up to find that you're a kid again, they say on Twitter. It's Saturday afternoon, you got no care in the world. What game are you playing? Heck with that. So, shout-outs to Zach Bussey for finding this. I think what he does is today on Stream Show, later on, he'll probably chime in on this and stuff along those lines. But Twitch, corporate pansy nonsense. Come on, Twitch. Twitch has biffed and dumped on the creators with the whole ad blocker thing. So, advertising is the lifeblood of a media business. This thing again, the cycle of life. This is how radio stations have traditionally operated with ad revenue. So, there's been some problems with Twitch lately, where Twitch has been accused of targeting people using ad blockers. There's been performance degradations. I've actually seen it when I've watched streams in Avast Secure, which has an ad blocker. And I noticed the frame rate drops down to like 10 frames per second or so. It looks horrible. I even saw one of my own streams and I thought, and I'm not even an affiliate on Twitch, so there's no ads on my streams. But even with no ads, an ad blocker browser has degraded performance. I'm over here like, holy crap. My encoding software was dropping frames all over. My encoders were dropping frames all over the place. The video card does that, not the software. I'm like, I was dropping frames all over the place. My Mario Kart stream looks terrible. Then I'm like, wait a minute, ad blocker thing. Switch to Chrome. Boom, smooth as butter. A lot of people don't realize that the old 2D consoles were technically 60 FPS because the technology was more mature before we started talking 3D rendering and stuff. So it actually is worth it to stream Super Nintendo games at 60 frames per second, as opposed to a lot of N64 games. They're better off done at 30 FPS because the frame, unless it was an actual 60 FPS game like F-Zero X. So in terms of not getting burned by a lack of transcoding and leaving your stream accessible, it's actually worth it to, it is actually worth it to stream SNES games in 60 FPS because the technology for 2D was mature by the time the 16-bit wars were going on. And there was 24-bit as well with the Neo Geo. So, 3D became a thing as we headed towards PlayStation, 3DO, etc. And there were some attempts on Super Nintendo, but the hardware just couldn't handle it. Like the Doom port on the Super Nintendo with the red cartridge. So, Twitch posted a little something that is a slap in the face to anybody who's chimed in on the ad blockers thing. And I should load up my own analytics as well to talk about this. Let me see here. Bookmarks. Let me go into my own bookmark analytics, bring up the ad blocker ratios, and we will modify it to include, we will modify the ad blocker ratios to include, let's see here, monetized playbacks and unique viewers. That's what I want. But I want the money to be green. So we'll do unique viewers and monetized playbacks in green. We'll load that up and get ready to work with it a little bit later on. So Twitch has been in the spotlight because people are like, is Twitch targeting ad blockers? What's their views on ad blockers? Blah, blah, blah. Now, coming over from YouTube and YouTube's ad blocker issue, the problem with ad blockers is it ties into a problem that I talk about with regards to the way platforms handle issues in general. And that is the difference between platform problems and people problems. There are some issues that platforms will have that are better off addressed by the platform, not dumped on the creators. Creators may not have the experience, or they may not be in a position to handle problems the best, versus the platform deciding to take responsibility for what it is that they oversee. Anytime you're in charge of something, you need to own it. You need to take responsibility for what you oversee. If you don't, you're basically the equivalent of, like, if you ever worked somewhere with a cowardly manager that wasn't good at what they did and just finger pointed everyone else and blamed all their people for everything, and then wondered why nobody ever wanted to work for them, or why they always did just enough to not get fired and their business wasn't competitive. Bottom line is, if you are in charge, you are accountable. And this applies to platforms as well, not just individuals. So, the experience of what it's like day to day to watch stuff on your platform is something that platforms need to take charge of. And issues that arise that are best dealt with by the platform as a platform need to be addressed as platform issues, not dumped on the creators. This whole dumping on the creators thing is something I was introduced to via YouTube's decisions with Kappa. There wasn't a platform solution. It was dumped on the creators in terms of the responsibility. But that's not the biggest example of dumping on the creators. Speaking of which, at the ready, cold ones at the ready. I didn't say at the ready, it just rhymed. I don't know. So, the biggest example that I can bring up is ad blockers on YouTube. Ad blockers on YouTube are one of the biggest examples of YouTube dumping on the creators instead of being responsible enough to address this as a platform. Although they do address things as a platform, and they have addressed it as a platform when they've decided to increase the amount of ads in the ad breaks. So we went from, I used to be able to brag about, oh, you'll get ads on YouTube, but it's like one ad for one 30-second ad versus however long commercial breaks are on TV these days. But nowadays you have multiple types of ads all firing off in the ad breaks. You have the bumper ads, you have the unskippables. Bumper ads are up to 6 seconds, unskippable mid-rolls are up to 15 seconds, and the skippables are all kinds of lengths. I think that's a problem on YouTube. at times when they drop the ball and don't take control of this enough, you'll see organizations sending YouTube videos through the ads system. So you'll be watching a video about one thing, and suddenly, if you're not there to click skip, like if you're sitting on the couch or you're listening to the audio across the room, you now have to walk back to your computer because someone else's video that's like 45 minutes long is playing as a so-called ad. So that's something that YouTube needs to work on. But I very much interpret the increase in the amount of ads and advertising for ad breaks as YouTube trying to fight back against ad blockers because they still need to make money to support the business. The part where they dump on the creators is when creators take a hit in the algorithms if their videos are not ad dollar friendly. This is something that I've been watching for years. Case in point. Firefox, please. Case in point. Here is my own ad blocker ratios for the last 28 days. One of the numbers I use the most is I compare the monetized playbacks versus the number of unique viewers as YouTube tries to roll out technology to get around some of the technological limitations of stuff like this on the internet. So we know the washer and dryer video are the best videos on the channel in terms of endlessly finding an audience, even though they're years old at this point, because YouTube keeps passing them around. The Foreman Grill video, Uglier Side of George Foreman Grills, from February of 2019 is gaining steam and has regular activity every month. However, Forza Horizon 4 with no graphics card, a little joke video I made when I was running Forza with no graphics card in Monolith, has a horrendous ad blocker ratio. 385 monetized playbacks versus 1315 unique viewers contributing 1436 views. Why is this on top? Because of the diamond of people and technology. There's always a side, there's always, of course, if it's not one, it's the other. So if the technology, because of ad blockers, is not supporting a video, people can still manually override by passing stuff around on Reddit. At the same time, also, if people routinely did not want to support my videos via letting the ads play, I could theoretically gain channel growth by bugging the living daylights out of everybody to like and share. That's one of the things that the people upset at me about giving a darn about ad blockers don't want to acknowledge, is that by giving a darn about ad blockers and giving the technology a chance to do its job, when my videos will actually get impressions because the ads are actually being allowed to run, and the pattern has been consistently for years, whatever makes the most money for YouTube is what gets promoted by its systems the most. By wanting the technology to do its job, I am backing away from bugging the living daylights out of people to pass my videos around. Like, hey, share this on social media, share this on Reddit, share this, upvote it, do I could call to action like crazy and bug the living daylights out of people every single video to do this. But who wants that? Who wants anybody to do that? Or who wants to do that as a creator? No, there's plenty of robust technology on YouTube to not even need this. The problem is whether or not people actually let it do its job and let it work. So getting back to Firefox here. Let's modify this to add impressions, which is the number of times that the algorithms actually serve up a video. Let's modify the graph as well. So instead of impressions, let's do unique viewers in purple and sort by views. So let's see. Let's click that to sort by views, which makes it one of the things here. Okay, you know, we're going to mess up the chart. Who cares? Sorting by views. Forza Horizon 4 with no graphics card has 385 monetized playbacks for 1315 unique viewers. That is an awful ad blocker ratio. The systems do not support, you can tell the systems do not support it. And here's the thing. It has the most views, it is getting the most traffic, people are watching it the most, but it does not have the most impressions. Only 4,300 impressions. That's less than the 4,500 impressions for Geek House Laundry. But Geek House Laundry has a ratio, an ad blocker ratio of 669 versus 484. So how does it get positive like that? People watching, maybe it's a long video and they watch it twice, but they let the ads play every time because they watch the first half and they watch the second half, or other stuff like that. Bottom line is, the stuff with the best ad blocker ratio is being supported the best. So The stuff with the best ad blocker ratio is being supported the best, and the algorithms pick up on that and it gets more impressions. This is not being supported, and I can tell you, and of course, you could say there's maybe some element of it where because of the amount of traffic, there's 4,300 impressions, but I'm telling you right now, with this kind of an ad blocker ratio, the minute it stops being viral, the minute people stop sending it around on wherever they're sending it around on, the external traffic sources, because impressions is only impressions on YouTube, not impressions anywhere else. When people stop passing this video around, it's going to die, and it's going to die hard. Because if I put the money on the screen here, you would see dollars from the best videos and cents from this one. So, the most traffic, but not the most impressions. So the algorithms are not trying to pass this around as much as the washer video, the dryer video, and the George Foreman video. That's it. That's ad blockers in action, and that's something that I've been watching for years. That is dumping on the creators because creators get punished systemically when their videos aren't as ad dollar friendly. A lot of people talk about the adpocalypse, and they talk about, is something ad friendly? Is it following the ad friendly guidelines? A lot of people talk about that sort of stuff. But what they don't mention is the stuff that's behind the scenes you can see in your own numbers when there is a drop-off and videos don't do as well because they're not making as much money. And that is nothing that any creator has anything to do with. None whatsoever. It is YouTube deciding that the system is going to work this way. So it is an indirect and under the radar and behind the scenes way of dumping on the creators, but it's still a way of dumping on the creators, and that's why I speak up about ad blockers, no matter who gets mad about it and who storms away from my channel, because I actually follow this stuff. Which there have been plenty of people that have gotten mad at me and stormed away from the channel. I often relate some of the more emotional people who are upset about things I do on here to petulant children. Think like kids that get mad at you when you're out in a store or something and they stop listening to you and they just stand there pouting and they will not move, they will not listen to you, they're ignoring you. You have to physically pick them up or drag them out of the store because they're being brats. Oh, mom and dad said something, little junior's upset. What do? I've done that impression a lot of times. They don't say anything to you, they just sit there pouting, they blow you off, and mommy and daddy now have to drag little brat junior out of the store, and it looks bad and it creates a scene, but it's the only way that they get on with their day. That's what I think of some of the very emotional people that I've seen, not just on my own channel. Most of the negative stuff that I know about people's views on ad blockers is from other YouTubers and Twitter feeds and Reddit threads and areas where I've seen people saying, well, I'm not supporting anybody because I want to run my ad blocker. I don't care. Wrong attitude. The reason why this Twitch thing annoyed the living daylights out of me is because Twitch has worded everything such that the most basic fundamental reality that any longtime YouTuber would know about advertising revenue is obscured in the text. Advertising revenue on these platforms is a revenue share. It's a revenue split. When a video gets demonetized on YouTube, it's not just the creator taking the hit. It's the platform. Because YouTube does not want to run ads on stuff that is not advertiser friendly that might cause advertisers to completely leave the platform. Now you think about it, this is something I brought up recently on another show. If you have stuff that advertisers don't like, and advertisers leave YouTube and remove their ads like they did during the adpocalypse, what you have is the capability for there to be a situation where someone else's stupidity hurts your channel. Somebody can make some stuff that maybe Pepsi doesn't like or something. Next thing you know, Pepsi is withdrawing all ads from YouTube. All that ad revenue is gone. Everybody who is making anything, no matter how small it was, off of Pepsi ads being shown on their videos doesn't get it anymore. So creators in that case take a hit because of other people's stupidity or not wanting to follow guidelines. How fair is that? Answer, not. The demonetization system is YouTube addressing this correctly as a platform instead of dumping on the creators with the old status quo where, oh, well, it doesn't matter to YouTube if an advertiser leaves until enough of them leave that it becomes significant. But every single creator who is getting ads on their videos, they're now not going to get those ads because the advertiser ended their relationship with YouTube. Because of nothing that that creator did, they've gotten hung out to dry. Creator didn't do anything wrong. Somebody else did something wrong, which drove away the advertisers, but they get punished for it. That would be a form of dumping on the creators. So it was pretty responsible, despite, of course, being a new automated system not working very well in 2017 and not working very well in 2020 on the live streaming side, by the way. I'm sure the stream has already been demonetized because literally every single non-gaming stream that I do gets demonetized until I turn off monetization, wait hours for the extended processing to finish converting the stream to a video, and then it works. That's one of the reasons why I just do spin-off videos. The processing is much faster. You get everything that you get everything that you would normally get. You lose the chat replay, but whoop-de-doo. Let's see. It's already been demonetized, right? Yeah, hey, what do you know? Whoop-de-freaking-do. How'd I guess? That's one of the things, too, by the way, that I'm thinking YouTube is doing to try and encourage more game streaming to compete with Twitch. Literally every single gaming stream I've ever done has never had a monetization problem. It is always the non-gaming stuff. Every single time. This one included. So what I'll do is I'll just make a spin-off video when this is over. The systems with the more mature monetization will handle it as a video instead of a stream. And we'll get it back, and people will have something to watch after the fact much quicker, with an end screen much quicker, by the way, than it takes for the live streams to normally process. So even with the gaming streams that never get demonetized, they are super slow to get end screens. I gotta go back and add a few, because you can't, because everything's locked down while it's converting over to a video, which takes way longer on the stream side than it does to just do a spin-off video and get it over with. A couple of technical issues with YouTube in this respect. But getting back to the whole thing with monetization, demonetization, the new system was back then, and to an extent now with streaming, because you can't declare explicit whether or not you have stuff that's unsafe for ads before you start streaming. That's not in there yet. So basically, demonetization on streams is where it was on videos 3 years ago. So, the system itself was a responsible move by YouTube. The work in progress nature of it and what it has done to so many creators was annoying. But it was still better than the old status quo where your ad revenue could tank because advertisers leave YouTube because of someone else's stupidity that you have no control over. So when it comes to ad blockers, the best thing for YouTube to do is to not give people penalties in the algorithms if people are using ad blockers, because that's dumping on the creators. People may choose to use ad blockers for security reasons, like invasive ads that carry malware and stuff on certain websites. And there are some platforms, there are some websites out there that have taken an aggressive stance against ad blockers and won't even let you into the site if you're running one. Say, hey, to read this news story, turn off your ad blocker. And then they give you a Google survey or something. But it's all just a matter of, don't forget, folks, there are people involved in all of this. So you may not like ads, they may annoy the living daylights out of you, but people that work in advertising are people trying to pay their bills like anybody else. There is a human somewhere in there. The people that are making those Geico commercials that play all the time, that we probably all have memorized by now. The talent wants to get paid, the cameramen want to get paid, or the camera folks, whatever you want to call it. Talent wants to get paid, folks running the equipment want to get paid, everything else. It's just people working. They're going to work, they're trying to make something of themselves. If you believe in working to support yourself, you cannot suddenly hate it just because there's advertising involved. So, here's the cycle of life once again. Radio stations have used this, TV stations have used this, and in today's day and age, these online services like YouTube and Twitch are using this as well. And that's one of the shortcomings of all of these pay money to not see ads services, like YouTube Premium and Twitch Turbo. If too many of those memberships get sold, then I guarantee you the price is going to go up. The price will go up on those services because in terms of revenue per user, which is the limited way in which some of these companies can even make money in the first place when they have a model like what they have with YouTube and television and radio, they don't have the options available to do this kind of stuff. I'm trying to load YouTube Studio and it's not loading here. I'm trying to get back to some analytics here. Let's see, analytics. Let me load up the money and the money stuff here. Analytics, money, views, ad blocker ratios, and CTRs, click-through rates. One of the things I have in my Firefox browser here. Where's the revenue on this one? I want to add YouTube Premium revenue to this discussion. I was playing with RPM earlier when it first came out, and this is still that way from that. So let me just give you just an example of why these premium services would have their prices raised if too many people were buying them. Because when you're talking about companies' ability to make money and pay their bills, which is, again, is a bunch of people trying to make money and pay bills collectively, when you're talking about that type of stuff, you're talking about the difference between making a revenue stream that scales versus something that's flat. Now, outside of all this advertising stuff, there's a version of this that people have very strong feelings about, and that is senior citizens that are retired and living on a fixed income. What's one of the problems? The income's fixed. Too much inflation, too much things getting too expensive, seniors will get hit harder than people that could maybe get another job, get a better job, make more money somehow because their income isn't fixed. This is the corporate version of that when too many people buy these services. Normally, advertising revenue scales with what is served as people are watching stuff. Oh, look, a commercial. Oh, look, another commercial. That all adds up. When somebody buys the premium services, they're going from something that scales to something that's flat. That is a fixed income from a corporate perspective. And the number differences can get pretty astounding. Let me just, without putting it on the screen, just rattle off something real quick from my own channel. 28 days, $50-something in estimated revenue, buoyed by a super chat, by the way. Thanks to the folks who did that. So super chats can actually add up faster than ad revenue. But that's one of the reasons why YouTube rolled out the supers in the first place. Try and close the monetization gap when everyone was booking off to live streams who wanted to make money from this hobby, or try to make it into something professional, or build a business or whatnot. So 50-something for revenue for the month, 56 cents is from YouTube Premium. That's the kind of numbers drop off we're talking about here. So here's the problem with that. Even if YouTube sold YouTube Premium to everybody who watches YouTube, that is still a massive drop in the revenue they bring in, the money they can make from selling advertising, because they're not selling advertising anymore because nobody's going to see it. Everybody's YouTube Premium. Now, what happens if a competing service picks up where YouTube left off? Now they're the poorer competitor with less money to invest. It hurts their competitiveness. So, with all of this in mind, let's take a look at Twitch and how they're handling ad blockers. The way YouTube is handling ad blockers is unsatisfactory. So Twitch had an opportunity here in order to handle this situation better. But what they wound up doing, unfortunately, was dumping on the creators. Back to the browser. The ad experience on Twitch. This is a new help article addressing some of the criticisms they've been receiving about things like, are they targeting ad blockers, etc. So here's how Twitch has decided to handle this. Look at how they're wording stuff and just how much this is dumping on the creators by absolving the platform of being responsible for the way that ads work. Remember, advertising is a shared revenue source between the platform and the creator. And yet the narrative these days tries to make it look like that monetization, that word itself is loaded, is something that the creators are doing. Wake up call, the platforms benefit from ads too. When YouTube has a video, when YouTube demonetizes a video, YouTube takes a hit, not just the creator. So look at this wording. Ads support our creators and are necessary to keep Twitch free. So they'll explicitly say that ads support the creators. They will obscure that ads help the platform. Ads also allow us to innovate. Ads help the platform. And invest in our communities worldwide. Ads help the platform. This is why I say that they're dumping on the creators, because they're making it sound like ads are a big thing with creators, but in reality, it's a big thing for both of them. Ad support, let's make this even bigger. Can we make it big enough so that, yeah, we can get the side stuff off the screen? Yep, there we go. Good. There you go. Ad blockers are not explicitly against Twitch policy, but the use of ad blockers means creators do not get paid for ads they run on their channels. Again! The focus is on the creators. They're dumping on the creators. But advertising supports the platform as well. It's an ad revenue split. Ad revenue sharing was the original name for what we call monetization nowadays. In the early days of YouTube, competing services like Rever sold their services to creators, and people went and joined Rever because they'd get a share of the ad revenue. YouTube had to scramble to come up with a system to make that available on YouTube, and when they did, it defeated the purpose of being on Rever. Rever's gone now. That's the story with a lot of ways in which YouTube got caught being technologically inferior. They had to scramble to catch up, otherwise the competitors would have stolen the show. And now those competitors are gone. LiveVideo.com was another great example. I mentioned them a lot because they were the big one. Lots of people were leaving YouTube back in the mid-2000s to go to live video. There was no 10-minute limit. There was no 10-minute limit. You could use stereo sound. There were all kinds of things on live video that weren't on YouTube. So YouTube actually was an inferior platform at one point. When they caught up, live video went under. And there eventually was a point where YouTube went widescreen and live video did not. So eventually live video wound up as the underdog, and the parent company eventually went broke. So there are some other notable differences as well. Shoot, I could dig around my own archives and still find the plug where I'm like, watch this video the way it was meant to be seen on livevideo.com. Because live video didn't have a length limit. So people were making YouTube videos like part 1, part 2, part 3. Stupid stuff like that. 100 megabyte limit on uploads, by the way. Today, that's what a Discord clip is limited at. 240p, baby. So let's take a closer look at this thing about ad blockers on Twitch. Ad blockers are not explicitly against Twitch policy. There's two reasons for that. Number one would be that Twitch doesn't care, which is false. Number two would be that Twitch just doesn't have anything in writing yet about it. So, if they don't have anything explicitly talking about ad blockers yet, they technically can say that they're not against policy because policies are not addressing that yet. So, again, the way this is worded dumps on the creators because it persistently makes it sound like ads are a creator thing, when in reality they are a creator thing and a platform thing. They're just not as explicit about ads supporting the platform, even as they make the news that they're having trouble making advertising goals. Ads support our creators. Explicit. Necessary to keep Twitch free. Not so, more nebulous, but it means that ads support the platform. Ads allow us to innovate. Ads support the platform. Ads allow us to invest in our communities worldwide. Ads support the platform. But the minute you're talking creators, it gets explicit again. When you're talking about the platform, it gets nebulous. The use of ad blockers means creators do not get paid for ads they run on their channels. And neither does Twitch. When it's about the creators, it's explicit, fueling this narrative that annoys people who watch creators on both platforms that think that content creators have turned into Scrooges. They won't make videos because it's fun anymore. All they want to do is make money. It's all about the money. They're a bunch of greedy, entitled, narcissistic whatevers that just want money. They don't want to do anything for fun anymore. They've ruined YouTube. They've ruined Twitch. Blah, 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 blah. I've heard this on so many message boards and platforms for so long, and it is a narrative that's being spun. The truth of the matter is that every single time one of those Scrooge, whiny, entitled, stuck-up content creators makes money off of a YouTube video or a Twitch stream, so does the platform. Same thing with other forms of monetization, some other forms of other forms of making money as well on even Twitch. When someone cheers with bits, Twitch makes money too. It's one of the reasons why the bit system gets criticized, because donos would have gone to the creator minus transaction fees. But Twitch takes a cut from bits, and Twitch infamously takes half of sub revenue versus YouTube doing things more 70-30. But the bottom line here is that whenever one of those money-hungry creators benefits in the form of making money off of advertising or whatever, the platform benefits as well. And it is dishonest to not come out and say that and to try and hide that fact behind a certain way things are worded. We don't change the ad experience for any viewer using an ad blocker, and we do not target viewers using ad blockers with any unique or abnormal ad experiences. Okay, that's lost potential. YouTube dumps on the creators with ad blockers hurting where you are in the algorithm. It's been showing up in my numbers for years. Twitch has an opportunity here to do things better than YouTube. The question is, will they? I don't think they will. I don't think Twitch has any fight left in them. If they're not trying to look like they're scrambling to fix their DMCA problem, they shouldn't even be in business anymore. I'm sorry, I don't care how popular they are. The ruse is only going to last for so long before more people wake up to the technological inferiority of Twitch. Searchability, browsability, DMCA, you name it. So they could have had an opportunity here to handle this better than YouTube does, and they didn't. Here's my idea. If Twitch can sense that you're using an ad blocker, which some people have speculated, you get injected ads. So instead of the regular ads, you get specifically injected ads where the systems will add that to the video stream so you can't ad block them because they're part of the stream. Now what that does is, because you're technically not missing anything in the stream, injected ads will eventually cause your chat to be out of sync with the stream. You're going to have to hit refresh. But if you want to, have a better experience in that respect, then stop using an ad blocker. The one problem with that would be that injected ads are a way to not miss anything when people are streaming. So I think the reason why that Twitch doesn't do this is because the minute they roll out injected ads to target ad blockers, they have to put injected ads on everything and give everybody this problem. Because injected ads are a guaranteed way for them to run ads without you missing any part of the stream. The problem is you're going to constantly keep getting more and more out of sync with the live streamer. It's going to become less and less live every time an ad break runs. You're going to have to keep hitting refresh, and then you might miss something. So it doesn't really solve anything in the long run. Let's keep reading here. It's an idea, but it's the sort of thing where if there was a way to target people using ad blockers, it would be interesting if Twitch did that, because it would make them stick out versus YouTube, where they address this as a platform by increasing the ads and the ad breaks to try and make more money to make up for this or whatever. But at the same time, they're dumping on the creators if the algorithm punishes you because your videos are getting ad blocked. We do, however, make constant improvements to the Twitch services. They're always working on stuff. So is YouTube, by the way. I get database errors half the time I go into YouTube Studio these days. We do, however, make constant improvements to the Twitch services, including our ad delivery systems. Yeah, so there's actually a lot of stuff. If you look at the advertising slide deck for how Twitch sells itself to ads, we'll bring that up after we talk about this here. They're working on ways to get around ad blockers, and they're working on ways to have a better ad experience that people aren't as annoyed by. So this can sometimes cause third-party tools like ad blockers to stop working either temporarily or permanently, or in my case, a degraded experience if I forget I'm in Avast Secure when I'm watching a Twitch stream. Like, why is this only 10 frames per second? Oh yeah, go to Chrome. There we go, because I don't run ad blockers in Chrome. So what is the legit use of ad blockers by streamers? There is one legitimate use of an ad blocker by a streamer, and that is, like what I'm doing right now. If you're streaming, you don't want your commentary to get interrupted by some loud blasting ad somewhere. But the responsible thing to do is to go to every single site that you run in, like Avast Secure or something like that, once with a regular browser. So there's a 1-to-1 ratio. When I'm showing you this right here with Avast Secure, I've already been here multiple times to read it all in Google Chrome. So if there are ads being served on this page, I've already had the majority of the time I've looked at this content monetized for the web hosters and the creators. That's the responsible thing to do. The irresponsible thing to do is to basically deny the ability for these people that are working, by the way, to make money. There's people at work making all this happen. You can't selectively hate somebody because they work in advertising. So, the standard Twitch experience. We have a standard for the ad experience on twitch.tv today. Mid-rolls are run by creators, sort of. There have been experiments where Twitch has been trying to run mid-rolls automatically, and pre-rolls are run by Twitch. So yes, the current retail release version of the Twitch ad experience is like that. But some folks have seen evidence that they're trying to find some way of running mid-rolls automatically. And the mid-roll question is, I think, something that's going to dog the entire platform because of its emphasis on live and next to no emphasis on after-the-fact content, which is Twitch's weakness, by the way, one of them. Facebook and Twitter, or Facebook and YouTube, both have endemic reasons to be on the platform besides live streaming. Twitch doesn't have that, and they need to make very serious design changes in order to have something like that. If they do that, that'd be cool. I don't know if they're going to, though. That's my question when it comes to Twitch, is where's the fight in them? Where's the competitive spirit that they're having to word things all wishy-washy like this? So they need to hit the ground running and work on competing more, because right now it looks like they're just wimping out and taking the money. And Harris Heller, actually, in that video I responded to on Twitch yesterday, sent it over to YouTube afterwards, but Harris Heller actually made a very good point. Alpha Gaming on YouTube, by the way, be sure to check out his channel. Harris Heller made a very good point yesterday when I was doing the react to well, not yesterday, but he made a very good point that he thinks that Twitch is cashing out more than anything else. And, if you're cashing out, that's usually a prelude to something. Like, maybe is the business going to get spun off by Amazon and end up under new ownership or something like that. But bottom line is, if you're in the game, you want to compete. Because if you don't, it's boring and not interesting to people. Take Pro Bowls, for example, if you watch football. Look at you ever see all the joke moves in the Pro Bowl because the goofy stuff that happens in Pro Bowl games because it doesn't matter as much as like the baseball all-star game? One of those deals. So, pre-rolls are run by Twitch. Yeah, unfortunately. It's one of the worst things about the ad experience on Twitch is that you can't channel flip because you'll keep getting pre-rolls. My idea for this for a long time is that when you go to a channel, it starts a timer that runs what would otherwise be a pre-roll, and you'll get the ad like a minute or two in. So that way you can channel flip, find somebody to watch, and as you're getting settled in, you'll get the ad, and then you'll be on your way. As opposed to not being able to find people because half the darn people are running pre-rolls. Now, Twitch is trying to dump on the creators once again by making creators want to run mid-rolls to disable pre-rolls. So if you want an edge in this already busted system with pre-roll ads on Twitch, if you want an edge in that, you just run mid-rolls as a streamer. But who does that? Yeah, and it's crazy because, as I've mentioned so many times when I've done these talks, streamer after streamer after streamer has, I got to use the bathroom, I'll be back. Oh, my pizza's here, I'll be back. Oh, this, that, and you see their chair for 10 minutes. They could have run a huge ad break while all that was going on. And yeah, maybe it's like TV where everybody else also, goes and does stuff during the commercials, but they would have at least supported the platform. And, the folks watching Twitch would have heard about Totino's pizza rolls for the umpteenth time or whatever, or the latest restaurant that's doing contactless delivery. So it's a carrot on a stick thing, but I think it's an insult. I think it's dumping on the creators that their pre-roll system is fundamentally, it damages the ability to flip channels on Twitch like it's television on a platform with such a huge emphasis on stuff being live. It's an oxymoron almost that this is even there. Now, anyways, subs and this mid-roll thing. Subs and turbo users do not see ads. Caveat, a small portion of creators, here we go, getting explicit when we're talking about creators, do turn on ads for subs. The vast majority of creators choose not to show ads to subs. Isn't that one of the selling points when you go to sub to somebody on Twitch saying, ad-free viewing, enjoy ad-free viewing and emotes for your favorite creators. I guess, I think there are some people that are showing ads to subs because of their contract with Twitch. So I think that's what the caveat is there. Oh, but this setting is controlled by the creator. Once again, dumping on the creators instead of being responsible as a platform. Whatever, man. All mid-rolls are eligible for picture-by-picture, which is that thing, the workaround that they're trying where if you run an ad, your stream goes off to the side and gets muted while the ad plays so people can still see the visual content of the stream. But unless you wait for the VOD, haha, to finish processing, I don't like using that term, but when in Rome, because we're talking about Twitch here, I want Twitch people to be able to understand what I'm talking about, even though when you come to YouTube, stop calling them VODs. They're videos. And they've been videos on YouTube for over 15 years. So, if you rewind the VOD later on Twitch to see what you missed, you know, you lose the live experience, but you at least see what happened because of that. So all mid-rolls are eligible for picture-by-picture, so that means that you still see the visual side of what happened, and you have a cue point or whatnot for, like, if someone scores a goal in a game or something like that. Or maybe they're playing the FIFA game or something like that. Oh, goal! Oh, shoot, there was an ad running. People have made fun of mid-rolls that that covered up key moments in live streams, so we do our best to create a consistent content viewing and ad experience for all users. Unfortunately, the use of ad blockers and the use of third-party scripts to modify ad behavior on Twitch can result in abnormal behavior. Okay, I can understand that. But really, I wouldn't have a problem if Twitch got aggressive towards ad blockers, because they'd hardly be the first platform or site to do that. News sites do that, other sites do that. If you've ever been to a site that says, hey man, you're not supporting us, please turn off your ad blocker, or it gets more aggressive, turn off your ad blocker to see what you clicked over to. So if Twitch decided to break from the crowd and not be so wimpy about it, it wouldn't be that wild and unusual. The following are not part of the expected content viewing or ad behavior on Twitch. Reduce stream bitrate, which means, of course, your internet's lagging and the connection drops. Some people, I guess, have been like, my ad blocker is degrading the bitrate. No. Frame rate. You're mixing up bitrate and frame rate if that's your attitude. Black screen during ads. Ads or screens asking you to visit Twitch TV or asking you to review your ad blocker. So there was an error screen that was popping up that people like, is this because of my ad blocker? That said, you may be running third-party tools that are interfering with the experience. So I don't know if this is a way to cover for that or something like that, but I'm not going to I don't want to put words in Twitch's mouth here. This is all stuff that I speculate about, all stuff that I think is going on, but what am I? Just some fat guy talking into a microphone on Thanksgiving weekend. Whatever. Longtime multimedia nerd, though, so I like to make educated guesses as much as I can on this kind of stuff, even if I'm guessing. So, these things can occur when an ad block extension or any other extension interferes with the functionality of the Twitch services. How can you troubleshoot? If you're receiving any of the ad experiences listed above, ad experience? Yeah. We recommend turning off your ad blocker or reverting any ad block script you've put in place. It'll remain our goal to continue to deliver a consistent ad experience for our viewers. Oh, there's the tiniest bit of a spine right there. Well, we talk about that, we don't necessarily have a policy against it, but, we got bills to pay, so we're going to deliver a consistent ad experience for viewers. That's still what we want to do. Yes, Twitch, because there's technology out there like injected ads. Really, I think Twitch should stick it to these people running ad blockers and stick them with injected ads, even if it would potentially cause issues with the rest of the site, because it's already a thing that people are worried about missing something in a stream because of ads. But as a booyah to keep the CPMs rolling in, they absolutely should, have something. These error screens should basically switch you over to injected ads until they stop popping up. Well, nobody's going to watch Twitch if they do more ads. What are they going to watch then? YouTube is ad supported. Facebook is ad supported. Twitter even is ad supported. And Twitter has a skip button. Advertising on the internet has been a wrangly thing that has been a tug of war for many years. During the days of the .com bubble, there were ISPs like Net Zero. I think they're still around. They're just not doing what they did when they first started. There were ISPs like Net Zero that thought that they could provide free dial-up internet if you were willing to have ads pop up on a little banner thing that you couldn't close. And you could buy the premium service to get Net Zero internet without ads. The problem with advertising on the internet And the problem with advertising on the internet is that ads have always been a terrible way to make money on the internet. Not just because of ad blockers, but because of things like bounce rates, and people just, they hate the unknown sometimes. They don't think of that little pop-up on the website they looked at as somebody worked to make that thing. There's somebody out there trying to put food on their table, just like the rest of us. We're just selectively hating those people because of what they work, where they work, and what industry they're in. So, and this goes all the way back to my college years. One of the things when I learned about marketing formally as part of my business degree, one of the things I was told at the time was that advertising was something people were highly skeptical of, and that a lot of the funny sell commercials being done by folks like insurance companies and stuff, a lot of the funny sells that were being done by like Geico Insurance and all these other companies was a reaction to people's cynicism towards traditional advertising. You know what the next reaction was? AstroTurfing. People trying to make ads that looked like YouTube videos. It's one of the reasons why we have the Federal Trade Commission regulations today that require something to pop up and say that something includes a paid promotion. Because otherwise the advertising industry would make fake grassroots, as it were, ads that look like product reviews. If you watch TV anytime in the last 15 years, you might have seen this on TV, where commercials, before all of this was hammered out, were made to look like TV shows. So somebody trying to sell something in a commercial would have like music, go to somebody at a desk like it's the news. Welcome back. Doctors say that blah, 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 but this new drug from blah, 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 blah can do blah, 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 blah. And you go into a pharmaceutical commercial. So I don't know how many of you remember the fake TV show ads of the 2000s, probably going into the 2010s. But that's one of the key reasons, is that advertising has always had an issue. The advertising world has always had a problem with people being cynical of it. And there's ways to get around it. And one of the ways to get around it is to make it more interesting. Make your commercials more memorable and funny and, entertaining and stuff like that. People know, yeah, they're commercials, they're trying to sell me stuff, but they've got this character or something. Or William Shatner like punches through a wall and it's Priceline Negotiator or something along those lines. I mean, advertising, there's a lot of very passionate people working in advertising. They're very friendly people. They're passionate people. Some of them are the furthest thing in the world from the slick-toothed checkered jacket used car salesman that people stereotyped back in like the 70s or something. But we need to stop selectively hating people who are working in advertising, because it's just not fair. Quite frankly, they're trying to work just like any of us are doing when we go to our jobs. So let's take a break, and when we come back, look at the slide deck on Twitch, the very thing that Twitch uses to sell Twitch advertising slots to advertisers. The method behind the madness, and let's take a good look at that. But in terms of this whole thing with ad blockers, Twitch could have handled this a lot better. And quite frankly, they left a ton of potential on the table by not deciding to do a better job with this than YouTube. What a miss. But it's not like they haven't had misses throughout this year. We'll be right back. That doesn't loop properly. Note to self. I should probably just turn off the looping entirely and then risk dead air if I'm not back in time. That is music from NCS, believe it or not. So I traditionally associate NCS with Dubstep Clearinghouse, as I jokingly call it. But NCS.io, they've upgraded their interface and their web client. It reminds me a bit more of Spotify nowadays. But the big upgrade, considering I don't really listen to a lot of NCS stuff because maybe I'm not too fond of the style or the lyrics, if there are any, it's usually looped stuff, you can download stuff as instrumentals. So some songs can be downloaded as instrumentals, and that's where that music came from, and the music being used in our show today. Let's get back to this discussion on Twitch and biffing the whole situation with advertising and ad blockers. We talked before the break about how Twitch could have handled this a lot better, and the thing that they wrote about this help article that they have, kudos again to Zach Bussey for sending it around Twitter. He also has a site, Creator Hype, that has blog type article things about content creation. But this whole situation, this whole thing that Twitch posted was worded such that it dumped on the creators. It wasn't the sort of thing that was worded as a way of expressing that the platform was responsibly dealing with its issues. So that's my major issue with it, is that the way it is worded, it obscures the fact that advertising on these platforms is something that the platform benefits from, not just the creator. And yet the narrative nowadays is being painted that creators are money-hungry Scrooges and advertising is only about them, which it has been false persistently. It's a matter of what the revenue split is. So let's continue here. Unless Twitch actually does have a 100-0 split on something, which would be very rare for anything I've ever seen on Twitch. So let's actually take a look at how Twitch sells itself to advertisers. And for that, we can take a look at, you have twitch.tv. Unfortunately, I don't see a dark mode for this. How can you see how Twitch is selling the platform to advertisers? Simple. twitchadvertising.tv. Where brands and communities intersect. What is Twitch? Twitch is the live streaming service and global community for content spanning gaming, entertainment, music, sports, and more. The ultimate influencer marketing-based platform. Wait, what? Influencer marketing. Could this be a reference to how a lot of Twitch streamers are complaining that Twitch tries to get them to play popular games instead of games they actually want to play? Of course, that's an old argument. It happens on YouTube, too. When YouTubers are like, oh, there's certain videos that I feel like YouTube wants me to make as opposed to what I want to make because the algorithms treat them better. 62% of viewers engage with esports and gaming personalities daily. 70% offer monetary support. 64% purchase products recommended by them. What people are saying about Twitch. Twitch is now pulling in mainstream viewers with its vision for the future of live TV. Well, if Twitch wants to be like TV, they need to be channel flippable, which they don't have with the pre-rolls. Twitch is changing the TV viewing experience. The future of Twitch will more or less be the future of streaming. Then why is it that the competing platforms right now have new features that are innovative that don't exist on Twitch, like being warned before your stream is taken down if you have copyrighted content that shouldn't be there? Why is it? They got awards and stuff, and meet our audience. This is where I get the demographic stuff from. 1.6 million people. The Twitch users don't just watch content, they create it. Yeah, that's a problem because there's too many people on Twitch wanting to be streamers, not enough people wanting to watch streamers. We've looked at this in the mathematics for quite some time now. And Q4, when's that due out? Probably January, I think. We'll see. More than 500,000 creators share their passions live each day. 600 billion minutes watched in 2019. Let's divide that by 60. Give me my calculator. Watch minutes. Are you kidding me? 6. Whoops. I hit plus by mistake. 600. 600,000. 600 million. 600 billion divided by 60. About 10 billion watch hours in 2019 for the entire 10 billion watch hours for 2019. That'll be higher in 2020, by the way, thanks to the lockdowns and stuff. 17.5 million average daily visitors. I think that number gets into the billions on YouTube. 400 million plus unique streamers go live every month. So 400 million streamers representing, well, okay, 230 countries. More than half of all Twitch users are between the ages of 18 to 34, and 14% are ages 13 to 17. So that's where I get the rough estimate that 20% of Twitch's audience are teenagers, because you add back in ages 18 and 19 to that. So, open to advertising and community focused. Seek expert opinions for buying expensive products. I tell my friends and family about new products. Tend to buy brands they have seen advertised. This is results of surveys and stuff. Twitch Research Power Group. Sales insights and stuff like that. Brand love, demographic tracking, sentiment and sponsorship measurement. Want to connect with our community? Get in touch. Now, there was a way to get to the actual sales page to try and sell. Oh, okay, that's the form. Where's the office locations? Da-da-da. Where's the form for that? Attribution, NCS, 9th decimal, Foursquare Samba TV, brand lift, demographic tracking. Oh, these are just the business partners and stuff. So where is, that's Twitch Research. Where's the link that tells me what kind of ads you can sell on Twitch? Because I've seen this. Oh, ad products up at the top. Advertising programs that cut through the noise. There we go. Let's put the browser back on here. Twitch offers premium media products, native site integrations, brand partnerships, and sponsorships that stand out in a crowded advertising landscape. Premium media and live video capture audience's attention with display units and unskippable ads that weave directly into live broadcasts. So there you go. This is Twitch taking their lack of a skip button, unlike YouTube, unlike Twitter, and turning that into a selling point. So here's the various ads that they offer. Cross-screen video. Your creative video asset can be incorporated. You know what? We should open all these in tabs. New tab, 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 and then the Sure Stream's the big one. Scale your campaign across partner channels, leveraging their hyper-engaged community. So there you go. You know, this is where Twitch bounties come in as well. Like, play this game and whatnot, and this is where some people are complaining Twitch goes overboard and getting people to play certain games instead of what they want to stream. The live stream answer to YouTube and people thinking there's two kinds of videos they make: videos that'll be successful and videos they actually are passionate about. Brand Partnership Studio, partner with our in-house team of strategists, producers, and gaming experts to connect authentically with the Twitch community. Ways to be effective on Twitch: focus on your right to play in the space, embrace Twitch culture. No, no, no. Twitch culture is content creator poison. You are sabotaging your ability to do well elsewhere the more you wrap yourself up in Twitch. And that's marketing. Very good, strong marketing that it has so many people under this spell, so to speak. But the minute you have a significant background elsewhere, like myself with YouTube, making videos, even if I haven't been streaming, you know immediately from your own experience that Twitch is just really good at selling stuff and getting people who don't know any better to play along. The affiliate agreement alone is a great example of this. Nobody else cares about exclusivity like Twitch does. Nobody else gets stuffy about that like Twitch does. The minute you compare the platforms against each other and try and see how they stack up, you see through this in a second. Support our content creators, celebrate the community, and don't take yourself too seriously. This is one of the problems I think I have with Twitch in general, is that this type of discussion that I'm doing is probably too serious for most of the people watching on Twitch. As opposed to just play a game, have fun. Problem is, everybody plays games and has fun on Twitch, so you're nothing special when you show up. There's already plenty of people to watch, and you're not making the situation any better. So trying to figure out what the heck's going on here. Okay, Twitch properties: align your brand with the experiences our users crave. Now remember this branding thing. It's applying to not people, products and services. This is being targeted at people who want to advertise on Twitch. So if you're Pepsi or you're Coca-Cola or you're Unilever or you're Mondelez Foods, how do you align your brand with the experiences that the Twitch demographics, gamers, younger people crave? By the way, the hot demographic traditionally in marketing of 18 to 34 as well. Huge. Known that one since college, too. People love Brands love 18 to 34-year-olds. They're young, they have money when they get some good jobs and stuff like that, and they're less likely to have their money tied up in stuff like financial commitments because of life decisions, buying a house, maybe medical issues. 18 to 34 is gold in the world of advertising. See, find a program for your brand, get in touch. That takes you to the thing to contact them with. So let's take a look at these ad formats that they offer, and YouTube has this too, by the way. That's where I learned that the length limits on bumper ads are about 6 seconds and 15 seconds on non-skippables. But here's the portfolio that Twitch is advertising on their own advertising thing here. Cross-screen video. Your creative video asset can be incorporated into our live broadcasts across desktop, mobile, and tablet. Specifications. Video file duration up to 30 seconds unskippable. There's an extra charge if you go 60 seconds. Now, this is one of the things that I like about Twitch's advertising versus YouTube's, is that they are clamping down hard on the length of the ads, much like what radio or television would do. As opposed to that infamous problem on YouTube right now, where some businesses are using the ad system to send their videos around, so it completely jars and hijacks your viewing experience of whatever you actually wanted to watch. And it's probably one of the reasons why people hate YouTube's ad experience in general, is that there isn't enough management of the skippable ads, yet the skippable ads still represent a substantial amount of revenue off of selling off advertising slots versus all the other formats. Specifications: ad server hosted video, 30 seconds unskippable, extra charge for 60 seconds, and here's all the technical information about it. You can track a few things here and there, like impressions, clicks, quartiles, and completes. Must not have geo, browser, or any other targeting on the third-party end. YouTube just refined their terms of service, by the way, to better protect privacy by banning certain things from advertising and videos and stuff. Third-party redirecting, fourth-party tags not accepted. Twitch does not allow the use of any unapproved third-party ad technologies. All ads and third-party vendors must be SSL compliant, etc. Technical requirements. And get in touch if you're interested. Let's go to the next one. Desktop video. Your video creative asset can be incorporated into our live broadcasts. 30 seconds unskippable, extra charge if you do 60 seconds. And what's interesting is notice how these ad formats are saying mid-roll only for the 60-second ones. So, 30 seconds is another way, clamping down those 30-second pre-rolls. But what would really help is if Twitch had 15-second unskippable pre-rolls. That would bring them into contention with YouTube in this category. And if you got a 15-second ad, which I think I have gotten a few of them, it's less annoying when you want to watch somebody than if you're waiting 30 seconds for the umpteenth Totino's Pizza Rolls commercial. They have a bit of a problem sometimes at Twitch with ad inventory where they don't just have enough ads to go around. So you get everything memorized ice cold. I remember a couple of months ago, there was that bounty ad like, hey chat, you gotta have bounty at your battle station. Fakest gamers ever. Nothing says we're trying to record a commercial that looks like Twitch streamers like that bounty ad from earlier in the year. That was a riot. I know people were annoyed by it, but I absolutely laugh at that stuff. Just, come on, advertisers. Try at least a little bit more to not be so fake. I mean, who plays a first-person shooter game or anything by spazzing out with the mouse back and forth until they spill their drink and, where's the paper towels? Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. More technical stuff and also the limitations as well. Homepage carousel. Promote your live stream channel content front and center on the homepage in one of our rotating carousel slots. 250 characters, etc. Examples: grinding games and watching replays with Spaceline and Cheez-It grooves. Get in here. So this is the sort of things where streamers team up with brands and something goes on the front page that says, yeah, I'm teaming up with Cheez-It today. Come watch my stream. Now, the tunes are going to be crisp and on pitch today thanks to our stream sponsor, Adobe Creative Cloud. Come swing by the stream for some song requests and a peek behind the curtain at how Adobe powers my content. I think Foosley had a tweet on Twitter about having some deal with Adobe in one of her streams. So sponsored streams and things like that. But this is the sort of a rising tide lifts all boats things. The company pays money to get their brand plugged, and then the streamer goes along for the ride and gets publicity boost. It's a win-win. So homepage headliner, next ad. Next ad type. The homepage headliner retains your brand's visibility and surrounds Twitch's most premium inventory. The unit can scale seamlessly with varied screen resolutions and display sizes without the risk of branding being compromised. Let's see. 3 components, 2 unique end images, and a selected hex color code. The end images in the template will have a designated area for branding as well as a mandatory gradient color. So this is graphics and stuff from the looks of it. Okay, next. Medium rectangle ads. Keeps viewers engaged as they scroll through and explore content. Okay, this is pictures. Mobile video. Video ads that play during various points in a stream being broadcasted on the highly rated Twitch app. Whoops, typo. Come on, doesn't like Microsoft Word put a squiggle under there for repeat word? Hey, a stream broadcasted on the highly rated Twitch app, available on iOS and Android. Again, 30 seconds unskippable, extra charge for 60 seconds mid-roll only. So again, clamping down hard on those ad lengths. Something YouTube could learn a few things from, unless this is causing money problems for Twitch, because on YouTube, the time-limited ad formats, I can go to my channel and show you this, represent a smaller percentage of the revenue from selling ads versus the skippables. So, Super leaderboard, what's that? Viewers engage while they search for content. It looks like it's another picture thing. Whoop-de-doo. Animations, maybe. Da-da-da. All animation, including loops, must stop at 15 seconds. And now here's the big one that, from a tech perspective, I've been keeping an eye on and wondering about: injected ads. SureStream. SureStream is a new video technology that brings more of the ad delivery experience by seamlessly weaving ads directly into the broadcast, supporting both advertisers and our community of streamers. Hey, what do you know? Finally, after all this digging, I run into something that actually is framing the advertising thing correctly. That both the platform... no, they didn't. The correct way to do this would be to say that the streamers benefit, but also the platform, because there's a revenue split. And there's been one. It's how this business works. Supporting both advertisers and our community of streamers. Okay, I was close. Thrown off by the details, though. But there's the thing. Seamlessly weaving ads directly into the broadcast. This is the kind of injected ad technology that I think they should deploy if their systems can detect someone using an ad blocker. This should be the punishment. It'll have its consequences and its side effects. But the fact that Twitch is throwing this around... Imagine if YouTube did something like this. Why don't we hear about this sort of thing in YouTube's ad portfolio? Which it is... YouTube has a support article that says what kind of ads they sell. Maybe I should check and see if they've made me look like a moron because they've gotten into this technology since the last time I looked. 30 seconds unskippable, extra charge for 60, mid-roll only if you send a 60-second ad. So, there we go. This is the most interesting technology, is this SureStream stuff, because this is the injected stuff that I'm talking about. Let's actually take a look at YouTube's ad portfolio as well. We've looked at Twitch. Let's also see what YouTube has as well. Let's see. I think the best way for me to do that is to search for a specific ad type, like YouTube bumper ads. I think I've posted this on Twitter once before already. I just don't want to dig around for it. Create a video campaign with bumper ads. A view of your bumper ad won't need to see. Bumper ads are short video. So video campaigns, YouTube ads. Let's see what they have available here. Do they say what kinds? Oh, okay, yes, they do. So let's check them out. So Google Ads help. We have it on screen right here. On YouTube, people can discover videos in various ways. For example, by searching on the YouTube search page, clicking suggested videos on the watch page, and choosing a video from the homepage feed. You can use YouTube to advertise more effectively to people who are searching for your product or brand. Connect with your audience. Ads that play or run next to YouTube videos can help you connect with potential customers. Let's see. Reach your customers on YouTube by topics, keywords, or demographics like women under 35. Create a campaign in only a few minutes. This is how YouTube is selling everything as well. YouTube audience YouTube's unique combination of video access sharing community creates an unmatched opportunity for audio engagement or audience engagement. Sight, sound, and motion can elicit emotional involvement with content that you don't get with other forms of media. This is sales talk here. So there's guidelines for that as well. Here's the formats. Skippable in-stream ads. Non-skippables, those are 15 seconds tops. Bumper ads, those are like 6 seconds. Video discovery ads, masthead ads, and responsive display ads. What I don't see is anything that looks like an injected ad. Let me actually see if I can dig around. So this is actually a technology edge that Twitch has for a change. So these other ones that I'm not as familiar about. So what are responsive display ads? YouTube responsive display. I think that's the display ads that you can pick in the other stuff. Automatically adjust its size, appearance to fit available ads places. So yeah, it's a pop-up basically. Bumper, video discovery, masthead. So yeah, that's it. There's nothing in this portfolio that looks anything like an injected ad that would become part of that would actually become part of what someone was watching, as opposed to an ad. So it wouldn't become part of the stream or wouldn't part of the video being served. So this is interesting. Usually I see Google leading the charge with technology, but in this case, it's just bizarre. Either way, Twitch does have the ability to be more competitive here. The question is, will they, and do they have any fight left in them? That's the issue. They've taken a beating with DMCA, so to speak, and they've had all this other stuff going on, but just what they've posted in response to ad blockers, I think could have been much better. And it could have been more responsible as a platform to properly illustrate that there is a synergy, to use the corporate term, between the platform and the creators. If there's any one thing that has to stop across all these platforms, it is this persistent painting a picture of creators as money hungry and advertising only benefits creators, because that is false. The revenue is split. It benefits the platform as well. And that's been the case since ad revenue sharing first became a thing on YouTube in the late 2000s, which killed the competitiveness of competing services like Rever. It's only recently that we started talking about it in terms of monetized, demonetized, and other terms where the definition of them makes it sound like the creator is the one doing everything. And so Twitch deciding to use the wording they used in their own support article has only perpetuated this problem. And that specifically is why I took sharp offense to it the way that I did. And quite frankly, anybody else who cares about content creation should care about this and be quite taken aback by it. Platforms need to be responsible and address things like this on this level as platforms, and not dump on the creators via the words they choose to use in their official write-ups. Just goes to show how there isn't enough competition in this industry, that platforms think they can treat people like this, and largely get away with it because they can. Social media is youtube.com/MultimediaJay, twitter.com/MultimediaJay, twitch.tv/MultimediaJay, multimediajay.wordpress.com, and MultimediaJay TV on Instagram. Got some chores to do around the house, but those can actually be blown off until late at night. I want to see how the Super Mario Kart experiment, or the have a category to yourself experiment, works on Twitch when it's not later at night. I don't think it'll be much better. So let's see if we can keep on going through the whole Wii U Mario Kart thing and get that back to full complete like my old cartridge version of the game used to be on the Super Nintendo back in the day. So in terms of videos, those are best done late at night. I'm not so sure if streaming late at night is such a good thing, except for behind the scenes working on stuff. These commentaries are pretty much guaranteed to only have an after the fact audience, because who's up at like 1 in the morning Eastern for that sort of stuff, unless they're night shift too. Till next time, this is MultimediaJay signing off. Thanks for stopping by.